Hello and welcome to another very special episode of the Happiness Is podcast with me, your host, Bruce Aitchison from Happiness is Egg Shaped, and we are all about DoddieAid again. Very, very excited for January the 1st and this whole thing to kick off, people to get out running and swimming and cycling and doing all those crazy things and posting pictures and bringing us all together, although we're not together, but making us feel like we're a team and working towards raising funds and awareness for the magnificent My Name is Doddie Foundation. Now, as you can see, I'm a member of Team South and very, very proud, even though I'm in exile doing missionary work in the Big Toon. But we have quite the team, and I am so excited to have a guest on today. Now, backstage we were just talking. I feel like I know this lady. She's got no clue who I am, but I feel like I know her because from the borders these things just happen, and her story has been one that we have all watched and we have all admired. She is a role model for everyone, and I am so pleased that she's part of Team South. So please welcome the one and the only Ms. Samantha Kinghorn. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, good, thank you. I'm very excited for this one. And we were talking before, you're not Sammi Kinghorn, you're Samantha Kinghorn.
I know, but it's only because my granny will tell me off if it's not my name.
I thought it would be one of those things that you were only called when you were in trouble. Samantha Kinghorn, get through here.
Oh, it's Samantha May when I'm in trouble. I get like the full-on double-barreled middle name if I'm in trouble.
Nice. Now we're getting geared up for DoddieAid. We're part of Team South. How honoured are you to be in that prestigious position?
Oh yeah, like I was absolutely shocked, like really shocked. I just got like a message on Instagram from Greg Laidlaw being like, "Do you want to be my lady captain?" And I was just like, what? Like, it's such a strange like DM to get, and but I was really excited, like for my mom and dad, and they were really excited because yeah, it's a borders thing, it's a Scottish thing, and it's always nice to be able to be a part of something that actually means something to you. So yeah, I was really excited to be a part of it.
I'm not sure if that's going to make you loved or hated. The number of people that would love Greg Laidlaw to just slide into their DMs and ask if they would like to join him to be lady captain. Like there are people whose brains are exploding right now. How well do you know Greg?
Yeah, to be fair, like definitely getting to know him a lot better. We've got the same management company and things, and our management company are really good at trying to get us all together and things. So I've met him through that and things, and just from being the borders. But it's the same. If you live in the borders, you just assume you know them, don't you? It's like you don't think there's a problem just messaging people because you're like, well, we're from the we're one big family. We're from the borders. And when I was out in Tokyo, there him and his wife were both really good at messaging me, and they really wanted to take me out. Obviously, I was not allowed to leave the Olympic Village at all, but they were really, really supportive. It felt like I had family there, although I didn't have anyone there, which was really, really nice.
That is very cool to hear. The South does just make it into all four corners of the planet. Have you had any other of those silly ones where you've been away competing and somebody from Yetum arrives to say hello?
Oh yeah, all the time. Just it's always random people, and it's always yeah, like you hear it's the because I live down south now, but and you hear the voice and you go, that's the borders accent. It's just it's such a calming like, and they'll always just like, oh Sammy, like I've been watching you in, you know, it's been in the Berwickshire. I've seen you in the Berwickshire. It's just
the
yeah, I just
the
always liked it.
Berwickshire news, yes. See, I get pelters from people like Richie Gray from Gala because he says that I talk differently when I'm on here. But I know, but we can't talk the way me and him would talk to each other because nobody would have a clue what's
Exactly.
going on.
Yeah,
So,
no, I'm the same.
DoddieAid, um, you've been involved, you've seen it all happen. How will you be racking up distances, and what can we expect from you on social media?
Yeah, I'm going to be trying to get as many people in to Team South as possible. I think it's an amazing thing because I really believe in the whole like the power of getting together. So being part of DoddieAid hopefully will make people feel the need to do exercise to rack up the miles, and then you've got the support of a team, which I think is really amazing for sport because sport makes everyone feel better, do better, you know, mentally, physically. I think it's an incredible thing, and you're raising money for MND and for the hopefully for one day for the cure for MND, which I just think like that's two things that are incredible, and to put them together is incredible. But yeah, hopefully my miles will rack up over this next month and into January. So I'll be putting my miles in, and hopefully I can get as many people to put their miles in as well, and we can beat beat all the other teams.
And your website's very cool, and you talk about being out and about around about Gordon where you live, but you're not going to be there. You're heading south, so are you going to be able to recruit anybody and steal them off the Babas down there?
I am hoping so. I'm hoping that I can get my whole team, yeah, our training team to sign up is my hope. So they don't know that yet. That will be the aim next week. I'm like, excuse me, would you like a snoot? And I think they'll, to be fair, I think they all will, because I think they'll all see what I'm doing as something that's really important. So I don't think there'll be any problem. So hopefully I can get some people to do some very good miles.
Well, and we are the team of Doddie, and talking about knowing people and being in the borders. We've met Doddie, you've met Doddie. Tell us some stories about your encounters with the big man.
Yeah, I met Doddie when I was really early on. I'd literally just started sport, and I just met him at some sporting event in the Scottish Borders. And of course, I learned rugby before I learned any other sport, so I knew exactly who Doddie was. My dad knew exactly who Doddie was, and my mum, who doesn't like sport at all, knows exactly who Doddie was. And so meeting him for our whole family was a really big deal. And for him to be, they always say never meet your heroes, but Doddie's one of them people you meet him and you're like, gosh, I'm so glad I've met him. Like, and he's exactly the person that you want him to be, and exactly the kind of borders, laid back, chilled out, and passionate about his sport person. And when I won my first medals in 2017, he really made a massive effort. I met him again at it was at the Kelso shows. And of course he was there, and he was the first person over. I just heard this bellowing voice, of course. And he gave me his jacket, and he was like, I want you to have this. It had his name and everything on it, and it obviously bought me plenty of drinks to celebrate with me and take a photo. And he made it a really big deal because of what I'd achieved, although he's achieved incredible things as well, which meant a lot to me, that he was seeing what I was achieving just as important as anything he's ever achieved. And that was really, really special for me.
Yeah, he does that brilliantly, doesn't he? He just gets rid of any ego and just welcomes
Yeah.
you in, and it makes you feel 6 foot 200, whatever he is.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Like, I met him again the other weekend, just went to see Scotland play, and brought my boyfriend over, and he, gave him some jabs, and I was like, Doddie, I like this one. Can you not, please? I was
I
like,
was
oh my
gonna,
God, he's gonna leave.
I was gonna say that's probably not a great idea, because he
No, it was
probably
worse
would
than
have
meeting the
given him
dad. I was like, oh gosh.
running him past, getting the Doddie stamp of approval. Yeah. Did
Yeah.
you get a message after saying, yeah, you can keep him?
Yeah, he's all right. He just gave me the whole little eye. I was just like, bloody no embarrassment.
That's brilliant. I love that. So you're talking about winning medals and what looks like an individual sport, and you've spoken about how important the team is and how good sport can make you. There's obviously a lot of people around you to get you on the track ready to compete, and hopefully DoddieAid is going to give people a bit of that sense. When you're out there training, what is it that keeps you going? Because there's a whole load of people hopefully watching this and listening to this who are probably a bit like me. They need a bit of cajoling to get moving.
Oh, definitely. Oh gosh, I feel like that sometimes as well, especially when you wake up in the morning and it's freezing cold and you think, oh, I don't really want to go outside. But I always know, like, I used to, I'm better now as I've gotten older. And I think that's because I've gotten older, and it makes me a little bit sad at the same time. But the mornings for me when I was younger, and I'd just be so grumpy, and I'd be so rude to my coach, and I'd just be like, oh, I hate this. And I always noticed that, like, halfway through a session, it was just like a weight had been lifted off your shoulders. I always felt so much better, so much more refreshed. And it's so important. I really wish that from a young age I was taught the power of sport, and it wasn't just run as fast as you can in PE, do this, do this. I wish I was taught, how much it can really help, like, your mental, physical health, because it really does. Because honestly, I could be the grumpiest person, and then as soon as I've done my warm up, it's like you feel that little bit brighter, you feel that little bit better, and then that goes on through the rest of the day. It does for me, and I think it does for everyone else as well. It's sport, and it doesn't have to be going as fast as you can. It doesn't have to be aiming for, your fastest time, or it's just literally getting out, going for a walk, and getting out and trying your best. It doesn't have to be winning medals like it is for me. I think just getting out there, enjoying the countryside helps. It really does help. I think it helps your way of life, like, dramatically. I think obviously after my accident, I didn't really know where I was, who I was, what was going to happen to me, and finding sport and being able to just get out on the country roads and the borders, just like it just really grounded me and made me realize what I'm doing and that I'm happy and this is why I'm here.
I absolutely love that. I've got a big stupid grin on my face because that is so good. Because so many people spoke about DoddieAid, and this is a Rob Wainwright harebrained scheme with his crew in all different parts to make the last one happen. Nobody predicted the success in terms of the money that was raised, or the environment it created, but so many people spoke about the benefits to their mental and emotional well-being, even though we were apart. And you've just given us a whole heap of that. Is there things that you can see happening that inspire you?
Do you mean like within the DoddieAid, or do you
Yeah.
think? Yeah, oh, definitely. Like it's so cool to see like the numbers of people. So like, when you post something or you say something, you see the numbers of people, and or like all the messages that I've had of people being like, I've signed up to the site, I've signed up. I don't really like, or like I've had people saying, I don't really enjoy sport. Do I have to do like, before they want to sign up, do I have to do like loads of miles? Do I have to? And I'm like, honestly, if you do 1 mile a week, that will still count and it will still add to our tally, and that's still important. It's doing every little bit and it's just getting yourself up and making that, and like being part of a team makes you accountable as well. You sign up for it, you're accountable, you're a part of a team, and I think that helps with people that can't really be bothered or aren't really used to getting up and getting exercise. And if you see that other people are logging miles, you're like, okay, I need to get up and I need to log the miles. And I think that's a really good way to do it. I think it definitely helps for me being part of a team, with my friends that I race with. If they log and say that they've done their training session today, I'm like, oh, I need to go do mine. Oh god, it does. It helps if I think that's just the way we're programmed. If you see someone else doing it, you think, okay, yeah, I can do it as well. And it's little, every mile helps, and just getting up and going for a walk. That's it. So you don't need to run and go fast, and you don't have to absolutely kill yourself to make a difference. You just have to do every little bit.
Yeah, it's so good, Sammy. I love it. Now you've become an inspiration to people, whether you like it or not. And I know you're a very humble person, and that doesn't sit well with you when I say that to you. But who were your inspirations as a kid growing up? And I know you went to Earlston High School. You were active. You did lots of different sports. I'm not sure how serious it was for you at that point, but who were your inspirations when you were a kid?
Yeah, I done sport. I think I had definitely had a few different ones. I had three that were like very strong in my mind. One was Beth Tweddle, which was my only sporting icon when I was really grown up, and I loved gymnastics. But for me, I remember I wrote I think I'd done like an English talk about her, and it was just the fact that she was so extremely bullied about the way she looked, and she still managed to just power through that, and she was the first female British gymnast to medal. And then where she got from that, and it's the first, it's breaking the barriers, which I think is something that's really, really important. It doesn't matter if no one else in your family's ever gone to university. It's you break the barriers and you can, and I think that's a really cool thing to learn. And Steve Irwin. I always wanted to be a zoologist growing up, honestly.
My wife was so upset
Honestly,
when Steve Irwin died. She loved Steve Irwin.
I was a mess for weeks. I just kept crying. Mom and dad were like, "Oh my god, you don't even know this man." I was just like, it's a crocodile. What am I meant to do? Like, so sad, very, very sad. That's why I think I'd always told my dad, like, Dad, I've dealt with the sheep and the cows. So when I'm older, I'm gonna go deal with elephants and tigers. Like that's always what I used to say when I was younger, and that's what I wanted to do. So I always found him. I think for me, I love people that are passionate. Anyone that's passionate and they love what they do, I think that's really, really important. And I think that obviously the last person is always, it's my family, it's my mum and my dad. And my dad especially is someone that I've always found very inspiring, because he's worked very hard, he's never asked for anything, and he's got where he is because of his very hardworking nature. And he loves what he does, and he's always brought me and my brother up to say that life can be very short or life can be very long, so why would you want to spend any of that time doing something that you don't enjoy? And honestly, I could turn around to my dad tomorrow and go, Dad, I'm not enjoying this anymore. My dad was like, right, stop, do something else. Because there's no point, you've got to enjoy what you do, and it's really important to enjoy what you do. My dad's a farmer, and it's not easy, and it's tough. And even, within wins the other week, destroying like loads and loads of acres of land. But it goes out every morning with a smile, although it's hard. And I find that, yeah, so inspiring to see somebody do what they love. And I think that's really, really important.
I just love this. That is so cool. Because I talk a lot about that word passion, and
Yeah.
and it's not, if you do the thing you're passionate about, you'll never work a day in your life, because some days are tough and some days
Oh
you
yeah,
do
of
have to
course.
work, but it
Hmm.
does make it. It's a bit like you talked about earlier with training and exercise. It's that first step that's difficult, but
Hmm.
then afterwards you've enjoyed it, and during it you had to show a bit of passion to get through it. So I love that. Please tell me, have you met Beth Tweddle?
Not properly. I've like seen her in passing before and been like, yeah, I just think she's really cool. I just, yeah, I'm sure I will. I'm a bit shy, believe it or
Right,
not. I
that's
know,
no, I'm
a
telling
bit
you,
scared
this
of
is
it.
going to be tweeted. I am going to tag Beth Tweddle till she is blocking me, but I think she is going to grow 10 feet tall knowing that she was your inspiration. How cool is that?
Yeah, yeah, I always just found her story, and I just don't think she was ever appreciated for what she actually achieved. But yeah, incredible.
I just hope that in a few years' time, or maybe it's happened already, somebody's going to tell you that you were their inspiration, because the way you're talking and knowing what you've come through and you've achieved, there is no doubt you're inspiring people, Samantha. I'm going to call you Samantha because I'm going to pretend that I'm in the inner circle here. So now, not everybody's won medals, but you have. Tell me what it's like. You've trained, you've gone through the cycle, you've looked at your diet, you've planned ahead, you've had bumps in the road, you've done all those things, and you cross the line to win a medal. I'm not going to ask what you think, because I'm a great believer in that's rubbish, but how does it feel?
Oh, like I've got goosebumps even just thinking about it. Like it's incredible. Like it is an incredible feeling. And but it's like it's one of them. I think in London, like when I've won my first medal, like if you watch my races back, I'm literally like, what? Like it's just I was so shocked. Like I was just like, me? Did we get over from Gordon? Was that what? Are you joking? Like it's incredible. And obviously Tokyo, winning my first Paralympic medals, that was amazing. But not having my mum and dad there in the stadium made that a very, very different experience. But I still crossed the line, and I was just like, my goodness, I'm a Paralympic medalist. Like I'm one of the best. Like that's amazing. But in London, for my family to be there, that was amazing, genuinely. And I go into every race and I say, of course, my aim is to win a medal. I don't think there's no point setting a bar low. I don't believe in setting your standards or your bars ever low. You set them high. You set achievable goals throughout the way to give yourself a boost. That's what I genuinely believe the way to succeed is you aim high, but you set achievable goals along the way. Because when you reach an achievable goal, it gives you a boost. I set silly achievable goals. Like I want to put, an extra half a kilogram on my bar to be able to bench press that. But when you do that, you're like, oh, I've achieved a goal. I've achieved a goal. But I set my major goal very, very high. I want to be the best in the world. I want to have all the world records. I want to be unbeatable. But I want to be pushed every single step before I get there. And you cross the line and you win a medal. You think, oh gosh, it was worth it. Like bleeding and sore, and my fingers are a mess. I've got calluses. I'm always bleeding out of a finger or out of my arms, and just all the time. And it's like a sense of like relief, like it's worth it. And that belief and the struggles of, am I good enough or will I be good enough? It was all worth it. And seeing your friends and family and seeing, your coach who's, a volunteer that's been there in the freezing cold when you don't want to be there, you don't know why he's there. They've been with you every step of the way, and it's an incredible, incredible feeling. And the best feeling, like for me, it's when the flag goes up. When you're waiting to go on the podium and your flag starts to go up. That's like, because it is, you're doing it for your nation and you're doing it for your country. And yeah, I find that such an incredible feeling. You get goosebumps all over you. Apart from, I did have to learn the national anthem. My mum was like, Samantha, you're gonna have to learn the national anthem. And I was like, well, I know Flower of Scotland. She's like, and I was literally like moments before, and I was just like, God sake, like having to learn it because I was like, I don't know it. We don't sing that at school. I was like, I don't know the.
You were
So I
obviously
did.
never in the boys' brigade, because you needed that for your white badge in the boys' brigade.
No, I definitely, yeah, I wasn't. I knew Flower of Scotland back of my hand, but
That is so cool. So when you cross the line, I always wonder, because before you do these things, there's this sort of tunnel vision and you're blocking things out and you're focused on your processes and all that speak that we get used to now. Do you know where your family are sitting? Have you already
Yeah.
spied them? Is there a
So my dad, like, he's always done it. Don't
he's
know why.
got the Union Jack with
He
Gordon Supporters Club on it?
no, he whistles to me like I'm a collie about to go and round up some sheep, right? And so, like, even when I was at school, like, he would never park close to anywhere. He just was like, "Well, it's just horrible to get that proper typical Borders man. It's just a hassle to get out of there." So he'll park honestly about a mile down the street, and he would just whistle. And it's honestly it's upsetting by how much I'm like, "Oh, it's my dad." And I'm like, "But how do I know? I should know. I should be called. I should know the whistle." But I do, and yeah, I used to hate it as a child, but seeing a stadium because there's nobody else doing like get by. Like as I hear it, I hear the get by whistle, and I'm like, oh, that's my dad telling me to get by. And then, yeah, so he'll always whistle, and because I get very very nervous. I'm sick before all my races, so I get really nervous, and if I didn't know where they were, I would just be like, I'd be looking for them. So I literally, when I come into the stadium, me and dad have a little dad literally whistles. I look up, he gives me a little thumbs, so I know where he is. And then I don't look at them again. I do like I do like a little warm up lap, and then we get called to the start line. And then I kind of like put it out of my mind. But I feel like I would probably hear a voice or something, and then I get distracted. Whereas I find it easier to know where they are. Right, they're there. Okay, carry on my race. And I think it also, don't know, because I'm doing it for myself. Of course I am. I'd be mad if I wasn't doing it for myself. Wouldn't be still doing it if I wasn't doing it for myself. But I'm doing it for my mum and dad as well. I want them to be proud of me, like every child wants their parents to be proud of them. So to see them, it gives me that like sense of relief. Okay, they're here. I'm not on my own. Like it's fine. Like, and it always makes me feel more confident. But yeah, it's the dog whistle. Is how I know where they are.
And that anxiety beforehand, does seeing them there, does that settle things a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, definitely. No,
So
it
was that a
definitely
bigger
does.
challenge when they weren't there?
Yes, I found that a lot harder in Tokyo, just being like a very empty stadium. It's very strange. But I was really lucky that I had friends, Hannah Cockcroft, who is, one of the greatest in my sport, and we're really good friends. And she came down and watched all my races. I went and watched all her races. So we just kind of made that pact that we'd be each other's family. So that was fine, even if the days that she couldn't come because she was racing the next morning, she'd be waiting up for me in her room, just like screaming when I came in the door. So yeah, people in the team made it special as well. So that was fine, and I was obviously FaceTiming them the whole time. They had a massive party. They were definitely having a better time than I was. I think they had
I've
everybody
heard a
around.
few people say that they got back to the village and it was just a couple of people, and then they would FaceTime and there was just a room full of people having
Yeah,
an absolute riot. Yeah, I've heard
yeah, yeah.
people say that.
My
Come
dad had
on,
a
get.
marquee in the garden.
Yeah, typical farmer, typical farmer. So give your coach a shout out, because you've spoken about coach. Give your coach a bit of a shout out, because hopefully that's then going to convince them to join and become part of Team South.
Yeah, so when I was in Scotland, I was always coached by Ian Murphin, who is still a massive, massive. He's a friend now, and it will always be a huge part of my story. So that's who I was coached with when I was in Scotland, and still a great friend, and definitely now part of the family. He's yeah. So I will convince him because he does loads of walking. That's a very good idea. And now I'm coached by Roger Harkins, who was once head of Team Scotland when they went to Glasgow in 2014. So I'm in very good hands, but he lives down there now. So still a Scottish coach, but he lives in Liverpool, so it's just made it a little bit easier that he's a little bit closer to where I live now.
Oh, very cool. Sammi, I've absolutely loved speaking to you. I told you how long it was going to be. We've gone way over because it just was nice. I've absolutely loved speaking to you. I still feel like I know you because of things like the Berwickshire News and the Border Telegraph and Border TV. So I'm still going to call you Samantha. I'm getting out of this Sammi media stuff. You're Samantha to me now.
There you go.
Give us one last rallying call for Team South before I let you go and get on with your day.
Yes, come on, join Team South. It's really important, an incredible cause. we can raise the money and we can find a cure to MND, but we need everybody's help to join Team South, to rank their miles up and enjoy it, get fit together and be motivated by other people. And I'll be there as well, hopefully inspiring on all my social medias. If you want to follow me on them all, that'd be great. But just join it and just feel good about doing something incredible in January.
Samantha Kinghorn, I have absolutely loved spending some time with you today, and I'm looking forward to DoddieAid myself. And you've given me some inspiration. That Borders family has sparked me, so I think it's time to get off my backside and go and do something before January the 1st comes too soon. So thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I can't wait to catch up with you sometime very, very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bruce. It was lovely to talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you. How good is Samantha Kinghorn? And I've had people on here before, and I think I'm going to say it again, but that lady should be Prime Minister, First Minister, something. That is so, so good, so inspiring, and just what a story to tell, but what a very bright future, and fully back in Team South for DoddieAid and a friend of the big man himself. If you've enjoyed it, please tell your friends. Please tell them to sign up using the DoddieAid app. They can go to the website. They can check out on Facebook and Twitter and all those things, Instagram. So follow, get involved, share your pictures, tell us when you've signed up, show us your snood, do all that stuff. If you've enjoyed this, you can get us on Apple, Acast and Spotify. You can also watch the video on Facebook and YouTube. And I think the future is very, very bright for Samantha Kinghorn, and she is buzzing for DoddieAid, and so am I. I'm so excited. My name is Bruce Aitchison from the Happiness Is podcast, and my happiness is egg-shaped for Big Doddie, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Stay safe. Have a great new year. Come on, Team South.